All right, so we're doing this thing. Does anybody remember what today is about? As I look through, I think there's a whole pile of you for whom you're actually the presenters, and that's okay. But we started back in May with this thing called the Founders Institute. I guess you don't actually have a slide for this, do you? It just would be dark behind me. But anyway, we started this thing called the Founders Institute. When I say we, I actually didn't do any of the work, but I did tell you about it. And then the guy who did the work, or at least some of the work, is here with me today. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Primo. All right, so you're going to start there. So I thought what we would do is have you kind of tell folks, just give them a status update. I mean, what has happened, since May, class, everything started, what's happened with Founders Institute. And by the way, like the rest of everybody else here, we're putting you on a timer. You got 5 minutes, right?
5 minutes, okay.
5 minutes, but no slides, so you're all set.
That's right, anti-PowerPoint today.
All right, go ahead.
So, I'm Jason Primo, one of the co-directors and mentors with the Founder Institute. Thanks, Phil, for hosting. You're going to hear some great pitches today, but really that's just a tiny fraction of the real value add of an initiative like GSATC and others. There's a lot of great ideas out there, and Founders Institute was really created to deal with how do you take an idea and execute on it. There's a lot of great ideas, but running a company is really, really hard. Getting sales is really, really hard. Keeping sales is really, really hard. Delivering a good product is really, really hard. A lot of wonderful people out there with great ideas, and instead of learning everything trial by fire and going through it for the very first time, what if you had some help? What if you had some help from mentors that had been there, done that, made mistakes, and could share those mistakes and provide you with the tools to kind of get through that really, really tough process of taking an idea to market and getting customers and creating a real company out of it. So that's kind of what the Founder Institute is about, just to kind of back up a little bit. It's an idea stage accelerator, and the goal is to take people with wonderful ideas and help them create real companies that can make money, not just raise money, but make money. That's the metric I like, is actually making money, not just raising money. And the output of the Founder Institute could be the inputs into the overall ecosystem, whether they're going to go into a product accelerator like the Iron Yard, or become one of the next companies and move in or gain your own space. But to create an ecosystem like this is really important. So we launched earlier this year. We just graduated a couple of months ago. Started with over 150 people with ideas about products, and it's a pretty rigorous process. And not everyone with an idea necessarily can create a company out of it that can employ people and create a business. So out of that large group of people, we ended up with about 35, 36 that actually got accepted. And out of that 35, 36, they go through a pretty rigorous process over about 14 to 16 weeks, learning about how to run a business, getting a lot of feedback from mentors, and diverse mentors, and Phil was one of those, and as well as 25 others. And it's a pretty tough process. And out of that, about 12 graduated, 9 companies, because some of them joined forces. And now they've got a company with the right legal structure. Many of them have a formal group of mentors involved. They've got a refined business plan, financials. They've got sales strategy, market strategy. They have recruited other co-founders, and that's also part of the opportunities here. So you're going to hear some great pitches, but again, it's the part that gets a lot of the press, but there's so much that goes behind the scenes, and how do you get to that point to where you can pitch a great company, not just a great idea. Some of the founders are here to just gain market awareness, and forums like this are fantastic for getting the word out. Some of them need help in recruiting technical specialists. There are people that it takes a village, as we say, and it's hard for one founder or just a couple of founders to try to get everything done. So you need to partner up with people that are like-minded and passionate in entrepreneurship and can help get things done. Some of them need to recruit other co-founders as well. They need partners in crime. And forums like GSATC and Tech After 5, Phil was doing this before it was cool. This is
still not cool.
Well, now it's statewide. Now he's franchising it, and we need this. Running a company is really, really hard. The odds are against you. Even if you're the brightest person with a great market and customers lined up, the odds are against you. The statistics are you will fail. So you need all the help you can get, and attending things like this regularly, getting involved, networking. Don't just sit together, spread out and meet people and talk about what you're doing, learn about them, and see if you can either join forces, collaborate, or just help each other. We need to help each other to see this through. We need to create more homegrown success stories. Companies that grow up in our state, that have gone through all the trials. When you create a great company and you become headquartered in the state, that's very different than just a company that just moves in and sets up shop. The people that are founders for companies and their teams get really, really involved and entrenched in communities, and we need to see more of that. So again, thanks for hosting. We've had a very successful first cohort launch through. We're gonna have some great companies launch and hopefully create some jobs and make an economic impact in our state and region. And we're gonna launch a second cohort, probably starting up some of the marketing awareness in January, February, with the goal of launching in late March, early April. The one thing I always like to emphasize about the Founder Institute, again, it's created in a way that you don't have to leave your day job. You may not want to leave your day job. Before you go mortgage the house, run up your credit card bills to get a patent on something that you can't sell, it'd be good to go through a little bit safer process to refine your idea, learn a lot of things that other people make rookie mistakes on, and get a lot of feedback from people that really have a lot of experience and care and want to help you before you make that launch. And then when you come out of it, you've got a lot of confidence that you've got what it takes. You've got a lot more confidence in the ability to create a company. So again, look for January-ish starting to promote again, and late March, early April launching the second cohort, and looking forward to seeing more people apply and creating some more companies. Thanks again, Phil.
Yep, thank you.
And put a plug in. So I used to be an aerospace medical device defense manufacturer, and was a client of Charter Business, now Spectrum. Yeah. So yeah, I migrated from T1s to fiber optics, moved more stuff to the cloud. Just when you get drawings and blueprints from Boeing aircraft, there's you're moving a lot of data around. So having those resources here in our state allowed me to really be a bigger company and to do things in a more competitive way. So it's good to have those resources. Couldn't make it a free facility out in the middle of Mississippi, but if you don't have high-speed data lines, it's hard to do business. So glad to have you guys in the upstate.
All right. Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Primo. Okay, so I would tell you, I actually did wake up in the middle of the night, like 2 o'clock, thinking, I am so excited about what we're about to do today. So we have 9 companies. We're giving each one of them 5 minutes to talk about what they do. So if they go a little early and they want to do Q&A at the end, that's good, but everybody gets 5 minutes. We're good with that? Everyone's good? Adam's not good because he's first. So it's going to be as easy as this. Adam, come up here. I'm going to hand you the microphone. And since your job really is to tell everybody what you do anyway, all I'm going to do is say, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Powell.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present to you guys. My company is TIE, and that's an acronym that stands for Time is Everything. We are a personal concierge and life management service whose goal is to create weekly routines that implement where you are into your life that ultimately save you time. Next slide. Before I was an entrepreneur, I was an officer in the Navy for 4.5 years, and my schedule was really busy. I found that creating routines for my life made my life more productive, and thereby I was able to have more time to enjoy doing the things that I wanted to do. I'm very passionate and committed about bringing TIE to people like yourself because I think that it can actually leverage the time you have to make your lives more productive. My co-founder is Christopher Nicholas. He's also a Greenville native. He has experience as a business analyst, as also as an account executive at a software company and in operations. The problem is this: there's only 24 hours in a day. We all know that. And life is really busy. We all have too much work to do, whether that's at your day job or your side hustle. In an Ernst & Young study, it found that 78% of millennials now have both spouses working outside of the home in excess of 40 hours a week. We all know that the 40-hour work week is not 40 hours. And as that continues to increase, you're going to be spending more time at work and less time at home doing what you want. Those same individuals in the Ernst & Young study, 67% of them said that they struggle to find a work-life balance, and 76% said that they struggle to find me time, indicating that they would forego a promotion, take a reduction in pay, or possibly even move out of the country to restore their work-life balance. TIE has a more simple solution than that. We're a mobile platform that has scheduled, repeatable service with certified, trustworthy employees that come into your home every single week. Our first service offering is laundry and dry cleaning services, shopping delivery services, and package shipping, helping you get your to-do list done at a price of $30 per week. The opportunity is very big. The personal services industry is estimated to be $800 billion, and there's $227 billion tied up in home services. The problem that nobody is addressing is the 279 million people living out of the top 10 most populous cities in the United States, like Greenville, South Carolina. TIE is focused on serving mid-sized, high-growth cities like Greenville with our service offering. Our competition, if you look over here on the right side of the screen, our indirect competition is very, very high. All of these companies have created platforms that connect people who need service like you with service providers. But what they don't do is they leave the scheduling up to you, and they leave the liability and risk up to you, making you reschedule that service with a different person every single time. My most direct competitor is currently serving markets in New York City, Brooklyn, and also Boston. And they just closed a Series A round after being open for about 2 years for $10.5 million to expand across the nation. They plan to expand to LA and San Francisco within the next year. Our advantages are this. We come to you every single 7 days, giving you a routine that implements into your life to help you save time. We have trusted, verified employees who are W-2 so that the same person's in your home every single week, increasing that trust factor and not making it some unknown person who's delivering your groceries. The last thing is our geographical diversity. We are focused on serving these mid-sized, high-growth cities that nobody else is addressing, and it's the largest market in America for this type of service. Here's our product timeline. By January 2016, we're going to be finishing up our beta test of 20 customers that's going to develop our initial technology platform. We're going to launch an MVP with that technology platform to serve 100 customers, and by June 2016, we plan on serving the entire Greenville area, and then going into fundraising, software scaling, team building, and executing at scale. What I need from you guys, I need software developers to help me with the development of my product, and I need local partners, people like grocery stores and also laundromats and dry cleaners. The last thing I need you to sign up so that I can know where there's interest so that you can be part of my test market and part of the first people to get this service in your home. My name's Adam Powell, and I know that your time's everything, so I thank you for giving it to me today.
I think you might have time for a question, right? All right, one question from the audience. Go ahead.
Sorry? We are looking for capital. We're looking to actually start those talks, but we would want to actually raise that capital once we've tested the Greenville market more thoroughly.
Go ahead. Since you got it, go jump in.
That's a great question. So we actually, if we're scaling the company, we become profitable in month 9. But if we keep the company at a small scale, we can be profitable day 1. It's all about how much infrastructure investment we're going to do in our technology platform. But you paying me $30 a week to serve your groceries, I could do that today and still come out ahead.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Good job. All right, next up, John Demersiman. John, take the mic and do your thing. Yes.
Thanks, Phil. So my company is Vocati. Vocati is a web application that helps busy professionals generate targeted resumes that are keyword focused, and this increases the odds of them getting an interview. Andrea McDonald represents our core user group, professionals between the ages of 30 and 55. Andrea works very hard outside her long work week. Her time is focused on her family. She wants to move up to a director level position, and she has the experience to do it. What she lacks is the time. Andrea knows she needs three things. She needs a way to keep track of the accomplishments that she's making in her work life so that she can include those in future resumes. She needs a way to create a keyword-focused resume the next time she's applying, and she needs a way to quickly get through the automated tracking systems that employers use as part of their screening system. However, she knows that those last two activities can take up to 3 hours, and that's not time that Andrea has. To validate the need for our product, we commissioned a survey of the American workforce, and we found that 14 million Americans would pay for a service like Vocati if it would help them get an interview. The Vocati system creates a database of each individual's career accomplishments. So we have Andrea's profile up here. When she's ready to apply for a new job, she clicks on the Build Resume button. And then she pastes in the requirements for the job and clicks Build again. The Vocati system identifies the items in her career history from her previous resumes and also from her LinkedIn profile that are relevant to this particular job. It also highlights the items that it can't find a match for, and it gives her the opportunity to add that item in. Once she's done that, she clicks on Build again, and the system creates a keyword-focused resume that is specific to this job. This gets her resume past the applicant tracking system and into the hands of a human screener who can readily see that the resume meets the requirements that they're looking for. So to help us gain momentum, in September we launched our accomplishment tracker, and this tool allows our customers to not only keep track of what they're doing in their work so that they can keep that in mind for their future resumes, but it also helps them with their annual review goals if they're part of a company that has an annual review system. So the system does a number of things. First, accomplishments can be associated with annual review goals. It provides rich text descriptions so that they can be included, they've got more detailed information for future interviews. It features multiple file attachments and tagging. And finally, the system allows users to create reminders to add accomplishments on a schedule that they've specified. So Vocati creates value for our customers precisely where they make and increase their livelihood. Professionals have shown a willingness to pay for a service that allows them to regain or increase their earnings, and we do this in a way that differentiates us from other players in the space. So our closest competitors are companies called Resonate and JobScan, and they do allow you to create keyword-focused resumes, but they're missing a number of vital options that we add in. You would pay a fortune to a professional resume writer to have them create a targeted resume for each job that you wanted to apply for. And there are some other companies out there like CredHive and LinkedIn who have some interesting offerings that do help in the career services space, but they're not specifically focused on helping land an interview. So I have 22 years experience in information technology, and for the past 10 years I've been a hiring manager, which has kind of been my interest in getting this product launched. So our accomplishment tracker is live now, and my biggest ask today is that you would go online to vocati.co, sign up to use that, tell your friends about it, please tell your colleagues in your HR departments, and that's really it. I'm John Demersiman with Vocati. Your best career is calling.
I might have 30 seconds for one question. Anybody got a quick one? I'm thinking this is the kind of crowd that might have something for this. Oh, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Pat?
So it's short for vocation, which is Latin for calling.
We love Latin. Ladies and gentlemen, Donna Mercerman. All right, next up, we've got Benjamin Moore, and he will tell you, not the paint guy. All right.
Thank you.
You got it.
My name is Benjamin Moore. My company is called T-Form, and we're the fastest provider of custom thermoform packaging. Slide. Our vision is to combine innovation and technology, that being software, some design type advancements, and also some engineering advancements, with lean manufacturing to become that fastest provider of custom thermoform packaging. So some of you are probably wondering, what's thermoform packaging and what's the process to do that? One, the packaging is something you would see on Valentine's Day. Chocolates come in a little plastic container. If you order a new iPhone, it comes in a little tray, it's plastic. That's the type of packaging that we're talking about. This here is the process that is generally used to create that, where you take a big roll of plastic, you heat that piece of plastic up, you go through a molding process, reshape it, and then you cut it out. And we're making advancements along the way here and also in the front end when it comes to design and software. So what's the current problem in the industry? Currently, there's about a 12-week lead time. If you want custom packaging, you have to wait 12 weeks to get it. And we pulled these numbers from a competitive analysis of the market. We have a lot of competitors out on the market, over 168 in North America alone, and we took and did a request for quote and sent them the tray that you see here, and to see how long it would take them to give us certain pieces of criteria that we were looking for, like how long does it take to get a quote, which on average was a little over 11 days to get a quote. How long lead time? That was over 12 weeks. So we took that criteria and based that as one of our value propositions to be better than the competition. Next slide. How much better? About 4 times better. So we took that 12-week lead time down to just about 3 weeks. Next one. So how do we do that? We looked at about the 3 major bottlenecks in the pipeline. One was the quoting and ordering type. We have developed a in-CAD quoting process where you take that 11-day lead time for a quote down to just instant, where they can get a quote within CAD software as a designer or engineer does a design for new packaging. We've also advanced the tool design where we use proprietary molds and some advancements in CAD software to make that design process extremely fast and quick. And then for tool manufacturing, we vertically integrated, co-locating the designers and the tool manufacturers together so that they can produce tooling a lot faster. And from our proprietary designs, we have a lot less to machine. So together, that makes the process a lot faster. Quick little snippet of the CAD plugin. This is the one that we're using in SOLIDWORKS now. We're in beta testing, creating a CAD plugin that designers and engineers can use to get a quote for piece price and also the cost of a tool. So our model is to do in-house manufacturing for the molds, do the design all the way through to the mold creation, and then produce the trays at the end of the day. So we're a one-stop shop if you need custom packaging. So my name is Ben Moore. I'm with T-Form. And if you need custom packaging needs, you can come to us and we'll be your fastest provider of custom thermoform packaging. Thanks.
How did you hold the mic for a second? How did you know there was a market here?
I had a past experience in another company, SC Machine Works. I'm the sole owner of that company. We've been producing molds for about 10 to 11 years now. And so with that type of history, I saw a need for faster turnaround on the mold process, which is the largest bottleneck in the full system.
And did you give us, and you might have been there, we're making you go kind of quick.
That's fine.
What market size? Do you have an idea of how big a market this is that you're addressing?
Yeah, the overall global market is pretty large, 20 to 400 billion, but we're focusing more on a custom style, low volume packaging. We're hitting medical and electronics manufacturers first, and then anyone that wants to produce less than probably 20 to 30,000 trays at a time. So that's going to be more of a custom market that is just growing.
Okay, and do you have an idea of how much dollar volume goes into that space?
And the custom packaging market for this thermoform is about $7 billion.
It's pretty cool, don't you think?
Yes.
Go, Jay Primo, you got the last one.
Yeah, did you have, what's your plans to expand?
Point A, yes. Point A is we have 2 co-founders. We raised a little over $500,000. we purchased equipment and leasing the space. So we're actually moving into that space early next week. So we'll have production facilities up and running by early December. The next plan down the road is to add equipment. So we will be running 2 thermoforming lines by the end of the year, and then we'll be looking to expand next year.
Awesome. Very good. Benjamin Moore. You'll hang around for later questions. All right, and I told you this was going to be quick. We one right after the other, but they'll hang around and we'll get some questions in at the end. Elizabeth Barr, would you like to go next? All right, I'm going to hand you the microphone.
Thank
Ladies
you.
and gentlemen, Elizabeth Barr.
Thanks, everyone, and thank you, Phil. Thanks for having us here today. I want to tell you about Tipley. Tipley is a recruitment tool to help restaurants hire better. Slide. We want to save restaurants time and money by solving their biggest problem, which is employee turnover. Slide. It's an absolutely enormous problem. The average turnover rate for all private sector industries is 44%. The average for restaurants, 81%. Some restaurants even report a turnover rate as high as 300%. Imagine having 100 employees, but every January you have to issue 300 W-2s. This wastes payroll dollars, it wastes productivity, it affects a restaurant's entire operation. Next slide. So the opportunity here, there are about 1 million restaurants in the United States. They do $709 billion in sales. 14 million Americans work in restaurants. That is 10% of the entire US workforce. And those people change jobs a lot. And we as Americans eat out 5 times a week, on average. So this is a problem for everybody. So one of the big problems is that restaurant employees don't typically have LinkedIn profiles. They don't come with a resume when they're coming to apply for a job. Their restaurant or their work experience is self-reported, and because this is such a vicious cycle, restaurants usually don't take the time to vet employees properly, to call, check on references. They don't have time. They're hiring all the time. So what Tipley does is it's an employee-verified rating system that helps take the risk out of restaurant hiring. And as you see here, one restaurant investor says, if I knew of this restaurant, if this employee's work history, I would have saved time, I would have saved money, I would have saved a lot of drama within my entire business. And that work history is key. It tells you whether that employee is reliable. Next slide, please. So Tipley has benefits for both sides of the hiring equation here. So a verified employee rating, of course, means a better hire for restaurants. But for the restaurant employees, also carrying this good rating is going to give them better options when they're looking at job possibilities. So this is how we do it. We post job ads on the site, and there's a 2-way search. Restaurants can find talent, workers can find great restaurants looking to hire. We're also going to operate on a premium model where restaurants will bear the cost. It'll be free for job seekers, and that freemium model will give restaurants access to the top 10% of restaurant talent. Next one. So I'm tackling this because I'm married to a restaurant owner, and I feel his pain. We are a family of foodies, and we like to dine out a lot. Greenville has some great options, and we're close to other great cities with great food scenes, and it's so disappointing when you've got a bad experience. Also, I am a front-end developer, and I'm working on the MVP. Next slide. So we hope to have our product launched, an MVP launched beginning of next year. By the end of the second quarter in 2016, hopefully we'll have a CTO on board, and we hope to scale up and add features by the end of next year. So here's what I'm looking for right now. I would love a technical co-founder to help me build out the back end of this. Someone who has put in their time in the service industry would be great, someone who's waited tables. We're also looking for advisors to help us grow. We don't need foodies there, but it's always good. And also, of course, I'm looking for customers. And by customers, not only restaurants, but also point of sale systems, credit card processors, anyone who would like to partner with us in helping restaurants solve this problem. So thank you so much for learning about Tipley. We want to put good service back on the menu because restaurants should be working to retain you, their customers, and not retaining their own staff.
Anything from the audience? One question from the audience? Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead, Barry.
You mentioned that I could, if I own a restaurant, I could pay you and I could see the top 10%.
Yes.
How do you figure that?
Well, it's going to really operate much like the eBay rating system, where you as an employer will rate the employee, and you can do that at any time during their employment. Key would be, of course, when they leave your employment. You'd indicate how long they worked for you, and you would give a very simple, is this employee eligible for rehire? Which is, HR, legal. We have thought about that, and that is something we'll be adding later. We want to see how this works first.
So what I heard was it's Yelp for employees.
It's Yelp for employees.
Excellent.
It's Yelp for employees.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elizabeth Barr. All right, our first tag team effort here. You guys ready? All right, who gets it first? Michelle?
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna- I'm going to introduce you. You go introduce Hal. How's that?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Wang.
This is how. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for providing this opportunity for us. And if you or your family or your friend are thinking about starting a business, definitely talk with Jason about Founder Institute. The program helped me so much, and I'm sure it will help you to guide you step by step for your idea. So our business is Health. We provide concierge service to help infertile Chinese women to come to the United States for their best chance at having babies. 5 million Chinese women are suffering from infertility. However, most of the treatments are banned by the Chinese government. Nonetheless, 100,000 of them already came to the United States and spent $3 billion on the treatments. Bringing together an experienced team, we're offering the most cost-competitive service package along with the high successful rate. Our standard service package is 50% cheaper than our competitors in New York and California. Hao is going to provide details in depth about our business.
So as you can see, Greenville here has some of the greatest partners that we could ever imagine. We have a lot of potential partners. GHS is growing tremendously, especially in terms of fertility treatment. We also have an in-state medical technology hub with Kaya Tech, with all these companies based out of GHS. And Greenville is one of the most livable cities in the United States. So it's an ideal place for people to come over here and get fertility treatment. Next. So I have already started prototyping with a web application and in the future mobile application as well. And it will look somewhat like this. And hopefully we'll be capturing every single customer that comes over here from China. And from there we will study and grow our database. And in the future we will expand not only with just fertility services, but all kinds of medical services for any kind of people anywhere in the world to come to the United States. Next. So here's the revenues model that we'll be going for. We have the free services. Of course, anytime you want to get a medical procedure done, you always want to have free consultation with doctors. You want to talk it over. So all the content, all the information, and all the information will be free. And then the standard model, me and Michelle we're foreigners. We came over here. We know the pain of getting your visa together. We know the pain of finding language support. We know the pain of getting your room and board in a foreign country and getting all those things together. So standard package, we will provide those, and the premium package will provide those, plus lifetime customer support with everything the customer would need. So here are some of the competitors that we already have. Some of them are based out of California. We are based out of South Carolina, and there's plenty of others based all around the world, mainly in Southeast Asia. So what we have identified is that most of the countries that are based out of Southeast Asia are much cheaper, but of course their success rate is not as high because the United States is one of the founders, one of the founding nation for fertility treatment process. And then the companies based out of California and Massachusetts, they have very high success rate, but their cost is enormous. We aim to fit in the middle. So the idea has already went through Founders Institute, and thanks to Jason again, That was a great process that we went through. We have analyzed the market. We have researched the market. We're aiming to roll out our minimal viable product, which is a web application, in December of this year. And we will start beta testing beginning of next year and continue to innovate until the bright future. This is the great team that I've put together. I hope you guys will use UnoHealth, and I hope you guys will spread the word about UnoHealth to all your friends. Thank you.
So we got about a minute, so let me ask the question of, it seems like the hard part in this is finding clients in China, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
getting people to come to Greenville, that's the easy part, right? Finding people in China, how do you guys address that?
So I have already started talking with many developers in China. So one of the greatest problems with China and United States conversation is a lot of the US-based websites are definitely blocked in China. So our website will be based out of China with Chinese developers, so Chinese people will have complete access to our website. And also, our main advertising target is not US-based social media like Facebook. No, it's not. It's going to be Renren, it's going to be QQ, and it's going to be all these Chinese social media websites that are readily accessible by the Chinese women. And fertility treatment actually right now is a hot topic in China. So I am already joined on my QQ account with several fertility groups and pregnancy groups, and we will be engaging with those hundreds of thousands of people groups as soon as possible. And plus, I have plenty of families back in China, so my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, they're all thinking about these processes, so I'll be engaging with them as much as possible as well.
You know, the thing I love about this idea is that you're actually making your own customers.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, you're with me on this. You make it in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, you know. All right, I don't know who's next, because I thought it was Christian, but I think you guys are running the show now. Is that true? It's Christian's next? Okay, excellent. There's like me in the list I had, and then there's someone else producing as well. And we're all gonna, all right. We were? Okay, excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Flieger and company.
And company. Hello. Can you guys all hear me well?
Yep.
All right, there we go. My name's Christian Flieger. I'm the founder and CEO of Hey Neighbor. It's an application that enables neighbors to rent tools, equipment, and other common household items to one another in a convenient and secure manner. I came up with the idea earlier this year when I needed a ladder. I didn't want to have to go buy one, and I really just needed it for the afternoon. I went to my neighbors, they didn't have a ladder, and so I didn't know what to do. So that's when I decided to create a better way to help your neighbor. Now, as you can see, I got two other fine individuals up here with me. I have Wendy, who is part of our customer support and user support. Then I have Creighton Pruitt over here, who is part of our business development, and I'm going to have them tell you a little bit more about the problem and solution, all right?
All right, guys. From time to time, we all need some kind of tool or equipment around our house, but we may not necessarily want to pay the fee that it costs to have all these tools and equipment. We also may not want to store them in our house, or we may not even have the storage for them, which leads us pretty much with the only option to ask people we know. And in today's age, we don't always know our neighbor, and we may feel awkward even asking them.
So as an owner, if you're anything like me, if I'm going to take on a project or find myself in the middle of a project and see that I need a specialty tool or piece of equipment, I will check with my friends. If they don't have it, inevitably I will go and purchase the item. I'm one of those people. In the long run, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to end up using this plenty more down the road, but inevitably I will not use it nearly as much as what I had told my wife I was going to use it, and therefore I have gone ahead and spent much more than I should ever be budgeting for a specialty piece of tool or equipment. So.
Okay, so that is the absolute beauty of Hey Neighbor, because I don't have to buy the equipment or the tool. I can go on this, right now the computer, which will soon be on your smartphone, and it's just one click. It saves me money, and it's convenient, and it's all based on my needs.
And so as an owner, it's perfect for me also, because Hey Neighbor is somewhere that I can go and quickly and easily list these items that I have that are just collecting dust in my garage, and then I can actually rent them to people in the local area and make some extra cash on the side. Hey Neighbor will take care of the accountability of letting these folks know that they need to return the item. If they don't, they'll get a reminder saying that you need to return them or there will be an extra fee, day charge, etc. And it also provides me the security to know that my item will be returned in the order that I rented it out.
All right, thanks. Great job. Now, we've also already been getting a notice just a little bit. So as you can see here, we've actually had a couple of articles in the Greenville News, and we've even been featured on News Channel 7. So that's been really, really exciting for us. If you go to the next slide, like they were saying earlier, we already have a web app that's out and available. We have over 70 users on there already. We've had several transactions going back and forth, and we've received positive feedback from all of them. And as we mentioned earlier, we'll have the mobile app that we're planning on launching in the spring of 2016. So, what are we looking for? Well, of course, we're looking to actually add like-minded neighbors who would like to get involved, help out each other, and help strengthen their communities by actually lending out tools and equipment to one another. We also are looking to actually form business partnerships and looking to actually add homeowners associations to actually bring in more customers and bring people together. So go to the next slide. And so that's all we have for today, but thank you very much, and please go check us out at heyneighborapp.com.
Doug, go ahead.
Yes, sir. To actually share if you went around and rented one? Not at the moment. That is actually a great idea, and love to put that in one of our future iterations. Right now for the MVP, it's just going to be tools that you can actually rent from your neighbors.
And I know there's a lot of nerds in the audience, but in this case, MVP means minimally viable product, not most valuable player.
Yeah.
You should be surprised I knew the other meaning of it, quite frankly.
And actually, a little bit more to your point, with the we're looking to actually partner with some of those local businesses so that we could actually provide that if you can't find it from a neighbor, that you could actually go to the local rental store and actually use that. So looking for those types of partnerships, and that way be able to get it at a discounted price, that type of thing.
Thanks very much. We got a rock.
Oh yeah, no, that's
Come
true.
back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Ready? You got it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shantae Nixon.
Imagine how you would feel if your precious newborn baby was sitting in a glass case and there was nothing you could do to hold them, there was nothing you could do to heal them, and there was absolutely nothing you could do to actually understand the people who are out there healing them. My name is Shantae Nixon, and I'm with Connect to NICU. This is the story for hundreds of thousands of parents who have babies in a neonatal intensive care unit, also known as the NICU, and this is my personal story as well. And in November of 2011, I found myself stopping by the doctor for a routine visit before I went to start my shopping for Thanksgiving. And the doctor came out to me and said, after we finished the visit, you have two choices, Ms. Nixon. You're either going to drive yourself to the hospital, or we're going to call the ambulance. You're going to get the bill, but you're still going to the hospital, and you need to go immediately. Your blood pressure is way too high. Fast forward a couple of days, the day after Thanksgiving, my precious little boy came early. Next slide. Connect to NICU is here for that very reason. We want to provide a platform that helps parents and healthcare providers seamlessly connect and engage due to the fact that babies are coming early. We want to actually provide the venue where parents can get patient-centered tools and resources available to them in one place. Today, before today is over 1,400 babies will be born preterm in America. Before my presentation is over, globally, there'll be 145 babies born preterm. Those babies who are born preterm, 75% of them, their parents are just like me. They never expected to be there. Next slide. So, okay, that's great. There's a problem with babies being born preterm. What's the real issue? Doctors and healthcare providers need to actually fulfill the meaningful use objectives of the healthcare or the Affordable Health Care Act. And by doing so, they need to actually provide a platform where patients can engage and find their medical records, their resources, and as well as being able to communicate with the hospital on other levels. We want to actually provide a platform that allows them to do that. Parents, on the other hand, there's left to research and educate themselves. They have to locate local and global communities that are already out there and that want to support them. And on top of that, they have to find resources that are already available to them. Next slide. What does Connect to NICU do? We place all of that in one place, where healthcare providers can communicate with their patients in another method other than a phone call or other than a visit. We also offer tools for them where they can actually provide tools for their patients, and so they can engage in their patients as far as educating their patients in another manner. For parents, they gain access to peer-to-peer support. They gain access to babies' records in a secure manner, and they also have access to educational tools and equipment in one place. Next slide. This is a schematic of what the future of Connect to NICU will look like as far as an app that a parent will see on their platform. And so if they needed to find terms or if they needed to locate who is this person working with my baby, they can find that at one place. Next slide. Is there a market for this? That's great, Shantae. We want to help parents and we want to provide patient resources. Yes, right now, mobile health tech is an emerging market and is projected to be a $6.8 trillion industry in the future. We're personally going to start with the 90 NICUs that are local to us in the Southeast region. Next slide. What we're offering is for the hospitals to offer this product to their parents or to their patients, and by doing so, they'll fulfill the meaningful use requirements and they'll get Medicare dollars. But on the flip side, their patients will gain access to educational resources. There'll be 3 packages, bronze, silver, and gold, and depending on the need of the hospital, but depending on what we provide them. Next slide. Right now, it's just me on the team, but we're looking to grow. We need technical people. We need people that are in advisory roles. We also need people that can assist with marketing. Thank you for your time. We are Connect to NICU.
Hold it for a second. I get the question, you know, if I were to like start a business, it'd be like a power wash. You're saving babies. I get it, you know, you're way past where but from a technical standpoint, what is it you're looking for on that side? It sounds to me like you're going to want more folks to help you on the development of the app.
I'm actually looking for someone who's either fire certified or someone who's willing to be certified. We need someone who can actually help build HIPAA compliant platforms. And we have an app out there right now. It's not HIPAA compliant. It is B2C based, and we're going B2B based.
Okay. Did you all understand that? In the back, go ahead, ask real quick.
That's a great question, and no, we've never discussed that. That's absolutely, well, it's funny, that may be something we have to talk over lunch over, but we've never discussed that.
We don't like people to actually make good connections. That's not what we're planning to do. Wonderful. Thanks so much. All right, another Nixon.
Yes.
You're not related, right? You are?
Just by this.
Oh, Lord. Okay. You're married and you're sitting at opposite sides of the room? That, my friend, that's work. Excellent.
Thank
Excellent.
you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julian Nixon.
My name is Julian Nixon. I'm the founder of Tall Games. What we do is we create video games, mobile games, that allow middle school students to master math and science techniques while earning cash for college. Now, there's a guy by the name of Mr. Pye. He's a teacher for 3rd grade in Minnesota, and he came to understand that his 3rd grade class was the lowest ranking class in Minnesota. So what he did was he began to apply video games in his class, and in 4.5 months, his 3rd grade class was performing on an advanced 4th grade level. So much so that the CEO of Geek Squad began to personally invest in the idea. So right now, the market that we're targeting is over on the far right. It's the mobile edge games in North America, and by 2018, it will be bringing a revenue of over $410 million. So this is how we came to this idea. By 2018, there will be 1.2 million jobs that require a background in math and science in the US. Currently, we are on track to only have enough people coming out of school who are qualified to fill 200,000 of those jobs. Now, the way that we figure that out is we look at math and science scores by kids in the 10th grade. And guess where they learn those techniques? not in 10th grade. They learn those techniques in middle school. So when we looked at middle school, guess what we saw? We found out that as the U.S., we ranked 17th in science scores and 25th in math scores compared to the top 31 developed countries around the world. Right now, while you're sipping on your sweet tea, there are 14.5 million students in middle school in the U.S. And by the time they graduate from high school, they will have played a total of 10,000 hours of video games. So it's starting to make sense, right? So for mobile education games, if you go on Google Apps Play Store and you look at their mobile educational games, the top 300, less than 4% of them are actually targeting math and science skills that go beyond 5th grade. And that's why our current project is known as Nerdables. In Nerdables, kids are able to actually design their own characters and play through an action RPG / tower attack game in which they are able to fix and apply different concepts and different equations. The same concepts and equations that carry them through middle school, through high school, and through college into those 1.2 million jobs. Let's keep going. So basically a rundown in the game. In the world that we live in right now, electricity, gas, wind power, solar power runs our world. But in the world of Mathica, everything is ran by equations. But unfortunately, something's going wrong. Something or someone has been breaking these equations. And that's why we need the Nerdables. So kids play as their character, the Nerdables. And we thought, hey, you know what? These developers are always using math and science skills to be able to build the game and build the attacks and build the adventure. What if we had the students use the math and science to actually build the attacks against the people in the game? So instead of the developer coming up with, let's go back, instead of the developer coming up with the area of the triangle, why not the kid coming up with the area of the triangle? And this kid is not only playing against a computer player, but they're playing with other kids around the world. And these top players are actually vying for the attention of colleges that will provide scholarships for them in the end. Let's keep going. A couple of our milestones. Basically, right now, we're glad to have graduated from Founders Institute, and we're working on the concept, building characters, building the storyboards. I have some examples of the characters in the back that you can see afterwards. So we have tons of collaborations and tons of connections, but we need team members. What we really need is, I need a technical co-founder, someone who can really get in and help us develop that intricate MVP. And we've already got schools. If you look at the far right, we already have Next High School and Lead Academy who are going to be piloting the games, and they can't wait to get their hands on it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a graduate from Clemson University. I'm currently the Department Head for Biological Sciences at Greenville Technical College. I'm a local, state, and national award-winning educator. I'm also currently featured in this quarter's Black Box magazine. Go out and buy a copy. So if you want to get in touch with Tall Games, here's our contact information. We'd be glad to talk to you. Tall Games, solving the equation to save the nation. Thank you.
One question? No? They got it. Excellent. Well played, sir. Thank you. All right. The last of our 9 is Susan Donkers. Susan? You ready to wow?
Thank you, Bill.
Please applaud. Go ahead. You got it.
So one of the things you'll find in the Founder Institute is that you have to follow people like Julian every Monday night for 14 weeks. So here I go. I'm Susan Donkers. I'm the Vice President of User Experience at Bandwagon. And our founder, Harold Hughes, could not be here today, but that's why we're a team. So next slide, please. Bandwagon is a sports technology company. And our function is twofold. We're both an online fan community and a ticket resale marketplace for college football fans. The college football market is rather large. In fact, it's 3 times larger than the NFL. Last year, over 50 million tickets were sold and then resold on the ticket resale market at a rate of $15 billion. And before you go to the next slide, the 50 million tickets that were sold, of course, are broken down into teams, tribes, and season ticket holder fans. Our competition in ticket primary sale and then in our market of ticket resale is very cluttered. The reason is that the market leader, StubHub, made $500 million last year. The competition is broken down into 5 sectors, starting in the bottom left with concierge service, top left, in-person transacting on Craigslist and Facebook. Over on the far right, there's auctions, search engines, and then in the middle of the ticket resale space, which StubHub created and is dominating. None of our competitors are really focused on the fan community, and that's a bandwagon differentiator. So bandwagon is differentiating itself from the cluttered marketplace through 1, a flat rate seller fee, 2, fan transparency. Everybody that joins the bandwagon has to pick a team and stick to that team for the entire season. And then 3, fan-to-fan ticket trading, so that ticket holders can, instead of having to put a price on maybe a non-essential game or a non-competitive game, can instead choose to trade that ticket. So the problem in the market today is that, for example, on Thanksgiving weekend, Clemson is playing South Carolina. And for the season ticket holder that cannot attend that game and may not have someone to hand it off to, they want to sell that ticket. To sell that ticket, they can either do it on Craigslist and have low security, which means they're meeting up with somebody in a Costco parking lot, or they can sell that ticket and pay up to 25% list price for the opportunity to sell that ticket on StubHub. Bandwagon, next slide. So this is what the current market looks like. You're the seller, you have a ticket, you put it out there on the market, and you don't know who the potential buyers can be. So with bandwagon, that problem is solved by being able to sell it into fan marketplaces that you've already pre-selected by joining the bandwagon and joining your team, your tribe. So where bandwagon is today, if we've made a series of technology decisions. We have already done some web development and have a prototype that was launched on this past fall for the 2015 football season. It was launched into the Clemson market first, and we have had success there. And I'm working personally over on the far right in the collaboration space. I primarily use Trello for a visioning tool and a roadmap tool. And then we're starting to use a new tool called Envision App to do wireframing. Next. So we're headquartered here in Greenville. We are we're starting our plan for the 2016 season. And then we'll then expand geographically out to the southeast and then nationwide. And what you see here in the orange is the state of South Carolina first. In the lighter color orange is the southeast. And then the states in yellow represent the top 21 division college football teams that with the highest college football ticket sale revenue. So we're really focused on building relationships. Our founder, Harold Hughes, has 3 degrees from Clemson University. If you go to the next slide for our team, our president, Sammy, she's Clemson. Lavonda is Clemson. Nick and I are the non-Clemson. I'm actually from Purdue University, so I'm looking forward to when we expand to the Big Ten market. And we're really focused on building relationships so that we can pave the way for our expansion. And then what we're looking for from GSATC is to let us integrate into this community, because we have had a prototype out there. We have been successful at raising angel funding, and starting here in the month of December as the 2015 season is closing down, we're now starting our next level of tech development. So we're creating a mobile app, we're creating a cloud-based tool for corporate clients to be able to store their large ticket purchases and then be able to better control where those tickets are going to. And then our biggest differentiator is that we're focused on the fan. So I hope you saw that in our competition, they're really focused on the ticket, but we're trying to create a tool that's focused on the user and the university. So bandwagon, we're here to help you protect your home field advantage. Thank you.
So you guys are in the spot, you said you've already had some success raising some money in this. Talk about that a little bit, because that's kind of a milestone, right? That's sort of a confidence thing. Talk about that a minute.
So Bandwagon was launched in July 2014 as an idea by Harold, and then I joined the team in March of 2015. And we went out and actually tried to raise money on an idea before going through the Founder Institute. The Founder Institute, we didn't hear about it till April. And so we were on that path of raising funding, and I'm so glad that we went through the Founder Institute first. The FI helped us go through our entire market through a systematic process, persona development, customer journey mapping, pro forma, testing the market. And so we were disappointed initially that we didn't raise money in the spring, but we're so much better prepared now to actually be good stewards of that money. And I think that FI helped connect us to more committed partners that want to do more than add capital. They want to introduce us to potential customers. Yeah. So we're ecstatic to be able to grow with the angel funding.
Very cool. Question from the audience? All right. Thanks very much, Susan. Round of applause. All right. I thought they did awesome, didn't you? I mean, there's some great ideas being executed right here in our backyard. So I want all of the Founders Institute graduates to stand. Everybody stand. Round of applause for these guys. Now my guess is that you've got questions for these cats, and maybe they'll hang around for a little bit and answer some of those. Is that what you do that? All right. So listen, I got just two more, well, maybe just one more thing. First off, Jason, thank you for being here today. Thanks for putting this thing together. You know, this wouldn't be happening without you. So round of applause for Jason Primo. We'll pull together. And listen, every time we do this, I always say, you know what? We got Tech After 5 tonight. I'm going to send you an email. And if you noticed your inbox, I just did. So true to my word, I'm inviting you to Tech After 5 to come out and hang out with us again some more. So one last thing, by the way. Oh, I wanted to show you one thing because this helps cement this. Does anybody know what this is, by the way? It's not an aspirator. You won't know, but it's okay. So this is a HTC Re, and it's a little tiny camera. How many of you, by the way, are on Facebook? Now you know the answer is all of you now, once I've clicked the button a few times. So it's just a little tiny, it's a camera that's like waiting for you to pick it up, and as soon as you pick it up, it turns itself on, and all I have to do is press the button, and it shoots a still. And if I press the button and hold it, well, I'll do this, maybe you can even hear, wait, I can do it. Now it's shooting video. Everybody wave. Say wave, hi. All right, and then say, how about, listen, you could do a little commercial for me. Meet me at Gadget Fest. How about that? Ready? Meet me at Gadget Fest. Okay, one more time. Meet me at Gadget Fest. All right, we'll see you all next month. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Travis.